Every tutorial shows you how the tool every tutorial shows you what the tool does, but none of them show you how to make it work for your specific business. So you watch, you try it, you get something generic and robotic. That sounds nothing like you. And you are back to doing it manually. The gap between AI demo and AI that actually runs part of my business. That's what that channel is about and the series of videos. So this is the first video in the series of videos where we are creating AI assistant. And by the end of this series, you will have AI assistant fully set up for your business. So what are we going to discuss today? Today we are going to discuss foundation for our AI assistant. You will be tempted to jump straight into the build, but I really ask you to stay for a short theory part. When you understand the logic and concept behind the tool and workflows, you will be able to work with it confidently, and you will be able to recreate the same patterns over and over again in different tools. Let's discuss why we're using Claude. So the best alternative is to take an N8N. This is an automation tool beloved by many AI operators, and just create something inside N8N. N8N is basically an operator, and you combine many different tools inside. Like, let me show you. It monitors the news over several handpicked sources, and then it filters the news every single day, records it, merges everything, remove the duplicates, filters it with keywords, aggregates everything, and sends it to the agent. The agent reads everything, rates the news by relevancy, sends the final output, Google Sheets, and then I receive a message in Telegram channel that I created specifically for this. This is one. I have 3 agents like this. Another one monitors UK government news regarding the AI and AI regulations. And the third one reads the AI newsletters and sends me a message every single day. That's basically how it looks in N8N, and it's possible, but why Claude? Anthropic, the parent company of Claude, shipped lots of stuff recently. And every single thing they shipped is to help real people, not only developers, work inside Claude infrastructure, and possibility to create a hub in Claude when you operate just from within one interface to do so many things. Basically, we can connect many things under the hood inside Claude and overpower Claude for our own productivity, like 10x minimum. And also it has one of the best LLMs on the market, and it's the most intelligent LLM in terms of coding and creative writing, and actually sound like a human. LLM is basically a brain. The product is what you see, the interface you see when you start using the tool. Every single one of them has a specialty, or at least something they're really good at. Claude is best in writing and coding, as we mentioned. And ChatGPT essentially is a generalist, the most generalist LLM on the market. And it's a good and bad thing. So think about, would you give a low graduate student a job in financial department? That's the difference between some LLMs for some jobs. So you have to pick LLM for particular job. The other problem with ChatGPT, and in our particular case, is memory structure. The problem is when you categorize your charts by the projects, it acts only as a folder where you save the charts. It can pull out the information from the memory from other projects. It's not isolated. Don't have boundaries or don't have isolation for the project, which is particularly with business case is not the best idea. If we're talking about Claude, the structure of the memory is a lot different. Each project there is an isolated ecosystem that can be prompted and treated differently, and that can have files dedicated just for this project, just for this job. It's a really good hierarchy of information structure. It gives, the thing is, it gives accurate and predictable outcome for the job that you give it. And the best human sounding communication makes Claude the best for the job at this particular moment. But anyway, before we dive deep into building the AI assistant, we need to go through strategy, and I will go with you. So essentially, you just have to be aware that there's There are 3 products inside Claude: Chat, Cowork. The Cowork is the hottest thing at the moment. We're going to start with Chat because we're going to taste Chat, and we're going to create foundation for our agent. And then we move on to Cowork, not in this video. Even if you want to stay in Chat, I ask you to follow along and to try Cowork at least. And it's very versatile for user who is just looking for a good assistant and doesn't want to deal with terminal. Cowork is the best thing. If you have a free plan on Claude, if you're running a business, what you may want to consider is to upgrade to a paid plan. The paid plan currently is £15, and I think $17 a month for if billed annually. I pay £18 because I pay monthly. I'm comfortable with that, and I think in dollars is $20 per month if you pay monthly. So why do you want to consider to upgrade even if you're not a power user? If we go to settings and if we go to privacy, what you want to do, you want to toggle this off. Help improve Claude. On free plan, you cannot toggle it off. It trains LLM on your data. On a paid plan, you can opt out from this. This is just for you to be aware because I think it's extremely important. To go to general settings, and then we're going to think if we need to set instructions for Claude. This is a place where you can set up instruction for the whole product. One idea is embrace critical thinking and like just a couple of lines what you do and how you do it, or maybe how you want Claude to behave. I personally don't like global memory because it interferes with my projects. The thing is, if you use Claude just for one thing, say just for your business or just for your marketing or something like this, it makes sense. For me, it doesn't make sense because I use Claude for both business and personal purposes. So I am not interested in this, and I would rather to set up projects, containerize them so they behave in a proper way like this particular project need to behave. Billing is your invoices. There's usage. About the tokens, this is a very important piece of information. It gives you credits for a week. Your monthly limit is divided by the week. The weekly credits divided by 5-hour session. If you used your 5-hour session credits, you have to wait. For today, we need to focus on chats and on project. So today on strategy for you, essentially, let's start with one big document, which is called master context document. Context is the most important thing when you're working with AI. Make a good job for you. AI need to know a lot about you. Personal context, personal preferences, and your story. It also has to know something about, well, actually not something, everything about your business. Whatever stage of your business you are, either you're just starting out, or either you just have a business idea that you are testing, or either you have established business. It doesn't matter. AI has to know everything. You know what? The business context may be your offer, company, where your company is located, maybe your social media links, maybe link for your website. It's also context. Clients, the more details, the better. Here I mentioned your voice. The easiest thing to describe your voice is basically 3 adjectives, but we're going to do something a little bit more sophisticated today. Anyway, if you're doing some writing, it may be content, it may be email, it may be just client communication, maybe you have a chatbot. You have to give AI context of your voice. How would you like to communicate on your behalf? Also, you need to prompt AI, what are your preferences, what it should never do. Like some creators prompted, never use dashes. I use dashes. When you type dash 2 times in some documents and you just get dash, in my language we use it a lot. So Maybe it's just personal preference. I don't know. I'm not AI, but I use M dashes, so I don't prompt it not to use them. And something that you always want to be done, something that you want LLM, you want your AI assistant always do. An example here is always end content with clear CTA. So to start with this master context document, and I will show you in a sec what it looks like and how you can create it. I would suggest you just pause this video and you will gather everything you want to be included, gather everything in one folder, however messy it is. Everything you can think of that will be relevant in any format. It can be documents, it can be Word documents, it can be text documents, it can be PDFs, it can even be pictures that you used or you would like to reference. It's going to be very important to have all the context. It doesn't have to be clean. It has to be in one place. Any piece of content you created that you would like to use that shows your voice, that can show your writing style. It can be one piece of content, it can be many pieces of contents, but it has to be your own writing. If you don't have it, don't you worry, I will show you how you can avoid this. So we're not here to fix prompts. We're here to teach Claude who you really are and to build context on you and your business. And this is the most important thing we're going to do today, although we also do one project. Let's move on. Okay. All the prompts you're going to see in this video are going to be in this Notion document that I combined for you from a document that I prepared. But when I was filming this video, I realized that I'm missing a couple of prompts, or maybe I need to edit something. So I combined everything here. This is all the prompts. You can just copy and paste simply like this. And we're going to start with creating our master context document. So to create master context document, you would need documents about yourself, about your personal context and your business context. Everything you have, it may be notes, documents, we discussed it already. So what you want to do basically, you want to copy this prompt and just go to Claude, open Claude, and you're going to paste the prompt inside. You just need to upload the documents. You can either copy and paste your information below this prompt, or you can add your files and photos or whatever you have. So I'm adding my CV here. You can just drag and drop, or you can press this plus button and search for your documents inside your computer. We can also add, project maps. We can have to do, we can have goals also, and some general information about the business, basically some description, whatever you do. You know what, I'm gonna switch to Sonnet and I will just send it to Claude. It even extracted my voice and tone. We can use this also to in master context. You basically have to go through the entire document and you will have to see if you're missing something or not. Don't worry if you miss it now, you can always add it later, but make sure you will give it as much information as possible to be able to create your master context document so you can rely on it. My master context looks a bit different, markdown file, and there's basically a lot of information. Actually, you know what, there's a lot of information, the same information you will be having from this prompt, but I also added on top way more, going back and forth in conversation with my LLM. It helped me to create this. Your master context should be a context you rely on. You can make it smaller, you can edit it, but it has to be one source of truth for you. That is the easiest way. If you don't have any materials about you or you don't want to gather them, use this prompt. You basically telling the LLM that you need to build master context document and the foundation of your AI assistant, and you kind of explain it. The most important part is ask me questions one at a time to gather everything I need. Again, you can just go to Claude and say, I want to create a master context for my AI assistant. Interview me or ask me questions to know everything about me and my business to help me create this document. So I will leave this prompt. You can use it. Try this and that, and they're both really good prompts. So basically, it will help you to gather the context on you and your business, which is very, very important. When you created this context, you go to another chat and you upload your context document and you use this prompt. Oops. Based on my master context, give me a quick summary. Who I am, who do I serve, what's my voice sound like? Keep it to 3 to 4 sentences. So it extracted the summary from this context that it has about me. So next, let's do your brand voice. There are some ways to do brand voice, and one way is to extract brand voice from existing copy. To extract your brand voice from existing copy, you should have existing copy. That's why I asked you to collect those documents. If you have it, a post, email, bio, proposal, anything you've written yourself. Say, I have this Claude tutorial, which I wrote myself, so I'm going to be copy, and however messy it is, it doesn't matter. And I will paste it in my Claude Chat. Then we go and copy this prompt, and then we paste this prompt, and then we send Claude to work and to extract. Again, it may be describing in different words whatever I'm saying, but it's quite accurate. If you don't have a copy of your content, because when I was starting from scratch on English market, what I've done, I went to a conversation. You could go to any conversation with LLM where you was typing yourself, expressing your opinions, etc., etc., where you communicated with LLM. It can be any context at all. Based on our conversation so far, describe my communication style and brand voice. What you need to do, you need to find conversation in Claude, relatively long conversation. This is not ideal. Here I have very short sentences. This is actually exactly how I've done description of my natural brand voice. The only problem is I deleted a lot of chats recently. When I was wipe coding one of the apps, I went to a conversation where I talked a lot or typed a lot, and I actually asked LLM to extract my brand voice, the way I speak, the way I sound. Let's try to do with this chat. This is quite good. Yes, I do have a problem with closing. I need my AI assistant to help me to close things in my copy. Let me know in the comments below if you are happy with your output the LLM gave you. There's another thing that we can do, and I don't have this in core work. That's why I find the document with a description of brand style or brand voice quite useful. So you just go into chat, you just go to styles, use styles, and create and edit styles. You just go create custom style and you describe your style. Let me actually copy and paste my brand voice. Here you can see style summary. Communicate with direct authenticity through conversational language that feels like peer-to-peer discussion, which actually quite accurate for my purpose use. And you can name it and use the style. So you basically choose the style and you prompt it to write something. For demonstration purposes, create a email, like offering them to book a meeting for tomorrow, 11 a.m. Let's see. This is, by the way, very close to the output I would write myself. Yes, this is very much like my natural writing style. It's pretty solid. Honestly, I do like it. If you're writing copy for clients and you need to have a solid style, you can create so many styles as you want. For yourself, for your clients. You can also add writing example. You can upload from device and you can paste, copy and paste a few paragraphs, and it will extract and describe the writing. And in the same way, you can save the style and use it in your writing, which is quite good, I think. I'm not sure what will be with styles, honestly, because they are migrating them to skills. I mean, they are staying there for sure, because this is one of the main points people use Claude for writing. But I'm not sure how this would look like, the whole structure within Chat. To sum up with the brand voice, basically all those things, you don't have to do all of them. What you need to do, you just need to extract a description of your brand voice, either this 3 words or a paragraph or a full prompt that describes the way you write. I gave you several examples how to do that. Please find the most comfortable for you and please test it. Like I tested it just now with email and just tested how it sounds. Let's go to the projects and break down the project quite quickly. The projects are containers for parts of your work. It can be your clients. You create one project per client and it contains everything about your client. Or it can be a project that knows everything about your business. Not rapidly changing things, but the foundational things like context we just created, your personal context, your business context, like your links, everything that all the documents you use to create particular job. So like if it's a business context, business HQ, for example, you would want to include this context document inside your project. If it's a client, you want to include the client documents into this project. Essentially, I had a YouTube assistant. I had a video about it on YouTube a long time ago. So let's create our first project and let's do the assistant project. We go to projects and create a new project. Let's name it AI assistant. You can change it later. And here is basically a description for you. This is my business assistant. Okay, I usually skip this step and we create a project. And then we can do files. We can upload from device and we can go to those files that we already that are created today, and we can add context to make it like more prominent. I can add some more, my project maps. I can add my brand voice. You should have your brand voice either separately or either in master prompt. You just upload all the documents in here. Marketing hub, it can be your assistant hub. Like for content creation, it can be my Instagram hub. Although I wouldn't do that, I would do content hub, just go something broader, and then you can add instructions for every content platform, and you can add files for the content platform. You can add files, as an example, how to create your YouTube description like I have in my YouTube assistants. And here there's instructions for the project. It's basically how the project should behave. So to create instructions for your project, what you can do, if you uploaded all the documents into the project, you can use this prompt. Read all the documents I've uploaded to the project. Based on what you've read, write a set of project instructions for Claude. These instructions should cover who I am and what my business does, what this project is for, how to communicate with me, tone, format, length, what to always prioritize, what never do, right directly to Claude Chat and you are working with. Okay, let's try and create these instructions. This is if you have your documents already in your project and you can create instructions and basically copy and paste it. So basically you just copy, you just go to your project, instructions, and you paste and you save them. And you're good to go. Again, try your project. Help me to identify my next goal and what tasks do we have to achieve it. I mean, it's the worst prompt in the world, but we need to test it. Okay, so you see, we didn't add the goals. So it has some context about me, but basically not enough. But anyway, you can identify some gaps and you can fill those gaps inside your assistant. So in the next video, we're going to go through skills. I tested some skills that I'm using. I'm going to test even more skills because in Claude Code, I didn't use skills. So I'm completely honest with you. Here, I'm starting from scratch with you. I will break down the skills in depth, and not only skills I recommend on how to use them, how to build them, and how to identify what skills to build. So stay tuned and I see you in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.